Hey everyone, thanks for clicking You the Real MVP. I am Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers knockoff review. This review today is brought to you by titanonetoys. I was so impressed with the last figure of the slime that I got. I'm like, dude, do you have the other one? And he says, yes, I do. So I bought it from him. And that would be Data Clerk. This is the Yes model knockoff of the Maketoys Cupula, which I really like the name Cupula. It's a cleverly picked name. Anyhow, so this is a knockoff of Maketoys Masterpiece series. They're doing all the headmasters. They've got two of them out now, and they've got one of the target masters is out, and then they've got the other two headmasters are in prototype or announced stage. So yeah, looking like a good line. I may have to go legit for the last two because I don't know if I'm gonna wait for Yes Model to decide if they want to KO them or not, even though they are significantly cheaper that way. And as near as I can tell, by the way, this Yes Model is basically identical to the original Cupula, in as much that the only issues I've had with it, I have looked online, and a lot of people with the official unofficial Maketoys version have got similar problems. So I'll go over to what those are too. Nothing big. Spoiler alert. Nothing huge. But yeah. But so this is clearly not Chrome Dome. He may look somewhat like Chrome Dome, but he's really not Chrome Dome. In fact, he's not even Cupula. He's just, you know, I mean, this is Data Clerk. We've got like 2 levels of anonymity here, you know, that we can deal with here. So it's pretty fantastic. In terms of accessories, really the only accessories he comes with is these 2 guns right here. They are your typical Maketoy style in that they slide in. They don't peg in. They've got this little groove in the handles and a corresponding groove in the palm, and you just kind of slide it in there, and it holds super solid, like super solid. Like, I really like how solid it holds. I've been a fan of the way these Maketoys weapons hold ever since I first picked up the gosh, I just forgot his name. Their classic scale Optimus Prime. Striker Madness. That's the one. Woo! Huh. Had to dig for that one. It's not my day today. I'm tired. What can I say? Anyhow, so yeah, he comes with these 2 accessories. In terms of posability, oh, by the way, I do like, it's got the little tech spec thing. I just really like that. Some nice detailing on the inside of that too. Doesn't correspond to the detail on the outside. Really cool. I like that. I I don't know why Hasbro didn't do that. Hasbro should have done that with their Titans Return figures, but no. Anyhow, in terms of posability, so his head is on a swivel. Swivel's all about. His head is also on a joint. He can look up. If you want, you can rotate this around, put his head on backwards, and then he can look down instead of looking up, but it looks even more silly. I don't know. Not really designed to... I mean, it's designed to look up and down and whatnot, but it's like not designed to have a real big range of motion to it. It looks kind of weird when you do. His shoulders will go around like so. He'll go out all the way. It will not bonk his head with his arms. That's nice. Upper bicep swivel. Single joint at the elbow provides roughly 90 degrees, so long as you don't count the hyperextension there. If you do, then it's almost 180. He has a swivel there. All of his 4 fingers are molded together. No posability on the thumb. He does have a waist joint. It's a little wonky. You gotta kind of pull this out a bit to make full use of that. He doesn't, his little front skirt armor is not movable at all. but even still, like he'll to kick about that far forward, about that far back. He does have a real strongly ratcheted thigh swivel, knee joint, about 90 degrees. That thing clicks like nobody's business. Ball jointed ankles, but you know, it gets about that much tilt and forward back a whole bunch. And this has gone over, actually, I've already glossed over 2 of the issues that I have with this figure. Now, granted, you got to keep in mind, this is like one of the early ones of Maketoys' like masterpiece-ish line, and the first of this like series of little masterpiece headmaster guys. First of all, I don't like this panel right here that's in his foot. Like, I think it's cool that they made this panel kind of fill that in, but like anytime you move this around, like, I mean, it fits in there and you can kind of get it to line up, especially if you open up the bottom of the foot, you can kind of get it to line up with the rest of the foot. But then when you move it, like, it all moves out of whack anyhow. So that's kind of frustrating. And then you've got his upper thigh. This is just ABS here, but his upper thigh is made out of that POM, that polyoxylmethylene, and I think that may have something to do with the fact that this just, like, the ratchets are tight, but like it feels like there's a lot of slop in them, you know? And you sit here and you pull on this and like you can see like the gaps coming up as you're pulling on it or stuff like that. And you don't have that on the other joints. It's just on this upper joint right here. I forgot to mention that he's got like Masterpiece Dinobot level of Van Damme, like basically nothing, like 1 click if you're really generous with it. So not a huge amount of action in the hips, but you know, you can make do with it. And I think that overall, like, the figure looks so good that you can excuse a little bit of that. And I mean, he does some pretty damn good, like, you know, standing there in an epic way kind of poses. But I don't know. I think it's really great. His head comes off as a headmaster should. Transforms like this. Fold this part up. Fold this part down. Split his legs. And there he is. He's got, I mean, basically 2 paint apps. This little thing here on his dinghy and this little part here on his face. And his face, by the way, is a light piped, but it's not like light piped all cool like the last guy was, Hardhead. This guy's light piping was like sweet. And that just, it caught it and like looked pretty good. This guy, because the translucent plastic on this figure is like a smoky, dark gray, like hardly any light gets through and it looks kind of lame. But oh well, it looks really good. They've got 2 shades of gray plastic on here and the red makes for some really good color differentiation. Makes it all kind of pop pretty well. Posability is the same as the last guy that I talked about, in that he's got ball joints on his hips for a little bit of moving around, deep bend on the knee. He's got slight ab crunch due to transformation. Ball jointed shoulders, so they'll go out, they'll go forwards. It won't go back because of all the stuff here. He does have actual elbow joints, which is cool. No head posability, but I'm not really worried about this. I mean, it'd be kind of cool if they threw on like a tiny little ball joint, kind of like what the Titans Return figures did, but I'm not gonna be upset because of that little detail. I think this is still like possibly one of the best headmasters I've ever messed with. So getting this guy transformed up, we're going to straighten out his legs all the way. I found that for good standing poses, what you want to do is, first of all, you got to get these feet panels into the same position, whatever effed up position they are. You got to get them into the same position. Otherwise it's going to make one of his ankles sit high. And then if you rotate them out one click, and that's pretty much going to be a good standing pose for pretty much any situation. Because if you have them just straight up, it doesn't really work out that well. Anyhow, I digress. So we're going to take this, pull this up. We're going to fold out this panel here all the way out, fold that up, out, up. There's a tab right here and a slot right here, and that tab is just going to rotate around and fit into that slot. Same with the other side. Open up this panel here, fit that tab into that slot. And you can fit these together, but I mean, I'm telling you straight up, it's going to come undone before we're done here, so I wouldn't even really worry about it all that much. Take these tires, rotate them down like so, and like so. And that's it for that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this front hand here, we're going to rotate it like this, and then pull it out like that. And then we're going to take and we're going to collapse this whole arm, like the whole arm just like goes down to the forearm. It's pretty wild, actually. And flatten that down. Now what we're going to do, this is where it all gets kind of crazy, because this transformation does turn a bit crazy. It's actually really cool. So we're going to take, there's a tab that fits into this metal bracket here. There's a tab that fits into that, and then it also fits into a slot underneath. So you kind of like wiggle it up and out, and then that'll move straight up. So up and out. We're going to open up this panel. These panels right here are stuck into tabs. So you're going to pull them up and then rotate them down like so. That's going to free up this, but we're not ready to move that quite yet. There's a couple panels right here on the side. You're going to move this down like that. Move that down like that. You'll notice that there's tabs here. These tabs are also tabbing into this piece here. That'll allow you to open this. Now, last but not least, we're going to take these panels here, and there's a couple tabs that fit into this gray spinal column here, and we're going to unpeg those, and that's going to allow us to move these all the way out. Now, this is where all the fun begins, all the magic. So, this section here is going to rotate at this joint, this delineation between the brown and the gray. That's where it's going to rotate. Actually, let's get this extended out first. We're going to extend that out like that, and then there's another double joint down here like that. Now we're going to rotate this around. These pegs, so they've actually got two levels of pegginess to them. They've got these little thin tabs here that fit into these slots on the back of this. They've got thicker ones that fit into these slots right here. They're going to go into there, but I guarantee you they're not going to stick yet. So we're not going to worry about them. Let's focus on the arms. The arms are going to simply go like this, and they're going to go in here. We're going to open this part up, and they're just going to kind of hide out right behind the cockpit area here. In fact, they actually become the seats. It's kind of cool. Now we're going to take, there's a joint right here. You can see the huge detents on this actually. And we're going to take and we're going to fold this back and back and back. And now the arms are going to slide into the feet. Kind of consolidate all of that same cream colored plastic together. As you slide these in, there's no like detent or locking mechanism, but you will feel it like click into place once it goes through, like that, like that. And then we're going to kind of massage these Inside here, you'll see that there's this structural spar. I don't know if you can see that at all. There's a structural spar in here. And you want the edge of that seat to go behind that spar. All right, you with me so far? Great. So now, and this is going to be almost impossible to see, but in here, get my light in here, get my light in here. So you can see this little slot right here. This little slot on the gray piece. Well, underneath, you'll see that there's these two tabs right here on the leg. Those tabs are going to come up onto those slots. And it is not the best connection, to be sure. But you kind of get it in there and you kind of make it work, and it actually kind of sticks together. All right. Does it look like a car yet? Because we're getting there. All right, so now what we're going to do, we're going to start cleaning this whole thing up. We're going to take these little tabs here are going to plug into these slots on the back of the hand. Like that. And like that. This is going to connect down this dashboard area. There's and you really can't see it, but there's a little tab that fits into a corresponding slot on the back of the knee, and it is kind of a hassle. But there it goes. Now that that's in place, you'll notice that these tabs on these brown panels have clicked in, and they're not going anywhere. They're actually quite content where they're at, which is nice. Because we gotta disturb them now, because we're gonna fit these panels into place, and you've got this three-way tab here that fits in this slot here. You've got a tab and slot system right here, and then this tab here is gonna tuck underneath this part here. So when you get that in, you're gonna still need to pull this up to get that into place. Yep. And this is one of the things that I was talking about, that I looked into it because I was thinking maybe it was like some sort of like issue with tolerances or whatnot on this KO version, because this is the yes model KO version. But no, this is actually something that that gave people with the original Maketoys version a little bit of trouble sometimes. So it's a little bit of an issue, but it's an original issue. This is still a really nice KO of a third-party product. All right, get that tab in there. There we go. Gosh, this is just all coming together quite nicely. Usually when I turn on the camera, everything goes to hell. I'm gonna fold these down like that. There's a little tab here that goes into that metal armature there. Excellent, excellent. And now what we're gonna do, so we've got a tab right here that's gonna kind of just sit in this slot here. There's a tab here that actually goes into a slot, like there's an actual slot for it. And then this cream part has got a tab that comes over that hooks over the top of this lip right here around the wheel well. So you have to like maneuver this in such a way that you get this tab down, and you have to like maneuver it under the cream part, but like over, shoot, I did this wrong. By the way, you'll notice these will actually expand out. That's important. So you have to get it over the brown tab, but under the cream tab. And you just kind of wiggle it around and say a quick prayer to Primus. You'll notice that the first one went right in, no problems whatsoever. So second one is fighting me just a little bit, but there it goes. All right, now we're just almost done. Last but not least, you've got a tab right here on the front bumper section, and it's going to go into a slot right here, like that. And on the other side, slot, tab, bam. And then this is just going to come around, clip onto the front. And there he is in his car mode. You can take your guy here, put him into a seating position, stick his arms out like he's holding the control yoke, because he definitely has got a control yoke, not a steering wheel. And he'll just sit right in there, just like that. Maybe I gotta tab his feet together. Yeah, just like that. And in fact, he's got space for his best friend. Well, right now, because there's only 2 of these out, it's his only friend. And he'll sit in there just the same way. And then we can be like, Best Bros Racing Cars. Close that down. That clicks into place. Da-da-da-da. You can take this panel right here, fold this back. Take these, when you have them folded back, you can plug the guns into the top, just like the old G1 car. And there he is in his alt mode, and I think it looks gorgeous. Like, the robot mode looks really good. The transformation is engaging and nice. The alt mode looks fantastic. Like this, I like it. I mean, I've handled the Fans Project Chrome Dome. I've got the Takara Chrome Dome. I never had a G1 Chrome Dome. I did have the Transformer Juniors Chrome Dome, but I don't know if that really counts. But yeah, this is as definitive as it gets. Now it's a really big figure. Gosh, I don't have a Masterpiece figure on me to compare this with, but you know, like he's about half again as big as a Masterpiece car, and he's a little taller, as taller, if not a little bit taller than the MP10 in robot mode. I think that the season 3, 4, whichever the Headmasters one was, I think those guys were a bit taller than the regular Autobots. I'm not sure if they were quite that tall, but you know what? It feels good. It feels good, and I like it. And so I dig it a lot. And by the way, look, when you open this up, there's this tech spec still, even though everything moved around. It's still in the same place. He rolls well, and that's it. He doesn't have any other accessories. He doesn't do anything else. He just, you know, sits here and turns into a pretty legit little car. And this part just seems to be heat's going in. All right, that's it for the Yes Model Yes Model Data Clerk KO of the Maketoys Cupula, third party of the Transformers Chrome Dome. And thank you everybody for watching. You guys are all the best, and you're all awesome. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later. See ya. Bye.